I made the Elden Ring Ash of War called Impaling Thrust into Minecraft. This is just going to be a short-ish tutorial on how to make it. So starting off, this is just what it looks like. You just have to use it, and it will teleport you. It deals damage if you hit an enemy. That's what it looks like. There is an FP system for this, but I will not be showing you how to make that, because all the command blocks to make that is this entire wall, along with some other stuff, like this little redstone thing, and that would just be way too much stuff to cover in one tutorial. So let me know if you want to see it, but I won't be showing that, so I'll be showing how to make it without all the FP mana stuff. So over here is this little chunk of command blocks in this box. This here is going to be the command blocks used. And essentially how this works is whenever you shift the game with a certain sword being held, in this case is this sword, if I do this with a diamond sword, then nothing happens, because it's not the right sword. But you shift, then it will summon an invisible armor stand with particles that moves forwards. It will damage anything around the armor stand, and it just moves the player to the armor stand. For example, if I turn off the invisibility, like this, then you may be able to see, yep, as you can see on the top left, it says I'm just being teleported to the armor stand. So now I'm going to go through all the commands. I will try to explain them, but I do want to be pretty fast, because otherwise this tutorial would take forever. So, starting off, you want a repeating and always active command block with 4 comparators coming off of it on each side. You would just place it like this, standing up here, place it like that. The command inside is this. And you should probably copy this one, but you do not need to copy the if score at s fp matches 10 through 30,000. This is for FP. Since you don't have that, you can just essentially go and delete this entire thing. I'll show you what I mean by that. So you can just delete it up to here. Another thing that you can delete is this data equals 1. This is used just because I have multiple iron swords, so this is used to specify which iron sword, but you may not need that, so you don't need to keep it then. So this is the full command that you're going to want to copy and put in your command blocks. I'm going to get back my version of it. And then, I'm going to go to this comparator first. This is just going to move the player. You can name it move player, that doesn't matter. This is repeat, unconditional, needs redstone. This is the command. Once again, you can get rid of this data equals 1, but I need to keep it because that's how my system works. You can get rid of the data equals 1. This is the entire command. Once again, this says as anyone that's holding an iron sword. And the positioned tilde 1.6 unless entity at SD equals 0. That just means if they're crouching. It's just a good way to do crouch detection. You can get rid of this if score at SFP matches blah blah blah. And just keep the run TP at S to any entity with the tag of thrust MR equals 2. So that will move the player to any entity tagged with thrust M within a radius of 2 blocks around the player. Then I'm going to go to the left. There is a command block called FP. You can just completely ignore this command block here. Instead, you can put a damage command block, I guess, in the place of the FP command block. You don't need a comparator going into it, but it may just help you visualize things better. So you just take this damage command. This is repeat and always active. This is the command. It just says go to the armor stand that we summon and damage any entity that isn't a player around it. Deals 10 damage. If you want to make this higher or lower, just change the numbers. So 1 would be low damage, 10 would be really high, 5 would be in the middle. This can go higher. You could do like this much damage, I'll one-shot everything. Then I'm going to go over here to the left. This is the play sound. This isn't required. It just makes this cool whooshing sound. I'm pretty sure this is a newer sound. So needs redstone, impulse, unconditional. Once again, you can get rid of this data equals 1. And you can get rid of this if score at SFP matches 10 through 30,000. Just be sure to go and keep the run, play sound, mob, breeze, slide at S, toady 10. Quick note, this 10 here is supposed to change the volume, so a lower number is quieter, a higher number is louder. Also, you may have noticed, but we are using this command right here a lot. Except, of course, you wouldn't have this if score thing, and you wouldn't have the data equals 1. But it's completely okay to just go and copy what I have here and paste it into each command block separately, along with the additional stuff. For example, the play sound is just this command, but you put run play sound mob breeze slide at the end of it. So If you want, that is completely fine. Nothing will get messed up, and that works totally fine. Now finally, we have this comparator string, and then only a few more command blocks. So, if we go this direction, then we have one, this is just going to summon the armor stand. This command block is impulse unconditional needs redstone. And this is the command. Once again, you can get rid of the if score at SFP thing. You can get rid of the data equals 1. This is the command. This will just go to the player and summon an armor stand one block down or at the player's level and on the player. If you want to make this dash start in a different position, then you can change. If you do 1 here, this is a block in front of them. This is a block behind them. This is a block. This is where they're standing. This is a 1 block up. You can change that, although this is generally what you'd want. Then make sure that command block is pointing up, and you'll need to put a chain unconditional always active above it. So the way this is done is if we have a comparator, we would hold crouch and place a block, and then we would hold sneak again, jump and place a block, just like this. And this command block, this is going to tag it. For those of you guys that don't know, a tag is just essentially an invisible name. So if I have the tag Joey, no one can see it, but you can still use it in commands. It's just really nice. There's some other bonuses, but I don't need to talk about those now. So once again, this tag command is chain unconditional always active. This is the command. You can get rid of the data equals 1. If score at S, FP matches the number. This will just tag the entity. Quick note, tag at E type equal armor stand just means tag the armor stand. Tag equals 0. What this here means, tag equals 0, all that means is tag anything that doesn't have a tag. So this is useful if you have multiple attacks or commands. As you can see, I have quite a few different attacks, so it's always just nice to have tag equals 0 or tag equals. And finally, we're going to add thrust M. Make sure it's a capital M, because capitalization most of the time does matter with commands. So make sure that's a capital M. Then we'll go up a block. Once again, it's just another one on top, so the way you would make that is like this, this, this. Make sure they're all facing up. And this top command is always active, unconditional chain. Make sure that the delay in ticks is 8. Although, if you want this ability to last a shorter amount of time, you can make this smaller. I'll do an extreme if I go to 1. As you can see, I basically don't go anywhere. And if I make this to like 20... Whoopsies. Oh, sorry. So, another thing with this is that if there's if there's no ground beneath it, then this thing will just fall. But yeah, so if this is at 20 and there's ground beneath me, I will go for a long time. So 8 seems really nice to me. 8 seems a bit more realistic to the game as well. So I would just keep that. This is the command. It just says kill thrust M, which is the armor stand that we tagged. And now you have a fully functioning way to use this thrust attack, except here's what it's missing. It's missing, there's a bug that this has that we need to fix. It doesn't move yet. It's not invisible, and there's no particles. So be sure to like learn these. You kind of need them. So first off, we have the one just fix a bug. This is a repeat and always active. It looks like this. This just says if it spawns in a block, then move it up. So this way you don't. If this was turned off, then it is possible to go and accidentally run into a wall or be glitched into the floor and fall through the floor. So be sure to have this. It looks like this. This is not connected to anything. Nothing is interfering with this. Then make another one. This is just movement. It's just all this says is to move your little armor stand guy. If you want to change the speed, then you can make this number bigger or smaller. If you want to make yourself go faster, make this like 1 or 0.7. If you want to go slower, then do like 0.3, 0.4. I think 0.5 is good. Make sure to add true at the end, because otherwise it is possible for this armor stand to go through a block, which is never okay. And then we have the invis. This is a really easy command. It's repeat, always active. This is the command. It just makes the armor stand invisible. Once again, make sure to add true, because if you don't, then you'll see the little invisible particle effects. And then finally, we have the actual particles. Repeat, always active. This is the command. If you want to change the particle, then you would change this falling dust top snow particle to whatever you want. And if you want to change where it spawns, then you would change this 1 to, if you want to raise it, you would do 2, lower it, 0. 1 is at eye level, which I think is really nice. And that is it for this tutorial. I really hope you liked it. Here are some other amazing tutorials I made for other Elden Ring weapons on screen. And have a nice day.